Hi guys, very quick video today. I've been asked by a few people to make a video about how to update the Flysky Nb4. I've had this transmitter about 6 months and I've updated it a few times. There's a few things I'm going to go through in a checklist, so these are important things to make sure of. Depending on which version of the software you've got, when you update it, you might lose all your data. So on the previous versions of the software, this was the case. On the last version I've installed, it was okay. So you might want to screenshot, take photos of the settings of each car from your Nb4, so that if that does happen, you don't lose everything. Obviously, you'll have to rebind the receivers. It's a bit of a pain, but I think once you get past version 7.7, I think then it saves everything. That's one of the fixes the firmware update did. So important things I've learned about how to use this update. Number one, you have to turn off your firewall on your laptop or PC if you're using Windows 10. I've had to turn off McAfee and my Windows Defender temporarily. Now, I'm not an IT expert, so don't do this if you're going to get into trouble. Do it under supervision if you don't know what you're doing. This is my personal laptop, so I can do that with no problems. Once you've done that, then you can go to the location where the software is stored, which is on the Flysky website. And if you go to flagship Noble Nb4, that's the page I'm on now. Scroll down and it says download and upgrade. So I'm going to turn on my Nb4.
Welcome to Noble.
Okay, so in my case, I've already taken screenshots anyway, just in case the worst would happen, so I don't lose all my save settings for all my cars. Now, I've already done an update recently, but I'm doing this again just so we can show you how it's done. I use Google Chrome because I seem to find that works better for the update, but it's one of those where whatever works for you, you might find you have to use a different browser. So with the Flysky, you get your USB cable, you plug that in, plug it into your PC. Now, as it is now, nothing will really happen. You have to actually go into the settings, which I'll do in a moment, and select firmware update. But what I'm going to do first is just turn off my Windows security, which is going to otherwise cause me no end of hassle while I try and do this update. I might edit this bit out if it takes too long. Just bear with me. Okay, PC security, firewall, turn off for 15 minutes. Okay, there we go, done. Firewall off. Now I've got Windows Defender on here as well, even though one is controlled by the other. I have to turn it off on both, otherwise we have issues. Okay, Windows firewall properties. Okay, it's off. Okay, fine. Right, good. Now we've done that, we should be able to download. So let's go to the downloads, latest version. Here it is, firmware 1, version 7.9. So 7.7 is further down. That's the one after which I've had no issues. There we go, downloading down here. It should be done. Showing open when done. Now, if you haven't turned your firewall off, when you press open when done, your firewall, your software virus, antivirus will just delete the download and it will disappear. So a box should appear when I do this now. Typical, it's disappeared. Let's pause that and see if I've turned everything off properly. So guys, I'm just going to turn on the update. So system, go to the bottom, firmware update, yes. All right, that gets that into the correct mode. Download. Okay, the other thing that I have to do whenever I seem to have to install a download is I have to show in folder, go to the download, right click it, then I run it as an administrator. That seems to, yeah, there we go. This is the window you want. Okay, and it's disappeared again. Oh goodness. Okay guys, so I've just gone back in to turn off all my security features because it just seems to be interfering with everything. Okay, so I've turned all that off. Fine. Okay, let's go back to Defender, make sure everything's turned off on there. Okay. Firewall is off. Okay, fine. Right, let's try again. Okay, go away. Right, let's try again. So, go back to our download. Show in folder. Let's download it again. Show in folder. Right click, run as administrator. Yes. Okay, update. There we go, now it's working. So you should get this box, this line of code, then you press update, and you can see as a percentage it is updating. And that's pretty much it. So the main issues, as you can see, I've encountered there is actually the firewall security on my laptop, which does interfere with the download process. It won't let, for some reason, it particularly doesn't like this Flysky software. Your laptop might be fine. Again, I've used Google Chrome. So that'll take anything from a few minutes to 10 minutes. We'll leave that running and we'll come back to it in a moment. Okay, so my Nb4 has now updated. So I will now turn off my annoying PC. Otherwise we're going to hear it buzzing the whole time. Okay. So now I'll just check my model data and see if everything's still there. Okay, models, there we go. Model, select model. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I have lost all my model data. Okay, so inevitable, it looks like. So it's a good job I've actually taken screenshots of my model data. So I will have to rebind and reset this up. So lesson learned there, guys. I updated it yesterday and it was fine. Updated it with the same software again, and this time it's deleted everything. So be warned, you will need to save everything. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, it's rearranged all my icons as well. Okay, so let's have a quick look. About Noble, yeah, firmware 7.9. So we are up to date. Okay guys, so that's everything for today. Oh, one last thing. Someone has asked me about Mini Zs and Mini Z Evo and being able to control the lighting rig like you can on a standard Mini Z Sports. Now, I've had a quick look at this last night, and there are two sockets on the Mini Z Evo. One is actually you can use for the ICS lead, or as we have here, for a transponder. The other socket is for the gyro. Now we use the gyro because we run with drift tires and we do drift style racing, but the gyro socket is not the correct plug size for the Mini Z lights. This socket I've plugged the lights into, and as it is now it won't work. I think you'll have to rearrange the wires, but there's no way of controlling the lights from this socket. I think you'll just get power to the lights. They will work, but you won't be able to control them. The question I got asked is, how can you control the lights from the transmitter like you can on the Mini Z Sports? The gyro you can control from the Nb4, and it has got a white signal wire there. So I think what you'd have to do is actually set up a completely separate lights rig. I'll have a go at this once I get a chance, but I think it'll involve more than likely having to use some kind of lighting rig where you've got a receiver switch built into it. I have got a rig like that I've used on my AMZ, and what that enables you to do is use one of the channels off the transmitter to turn the lights on and off, or if you've got a flashing function built in to flash the lights. So that's another project for me to get on with. I'll have a look at that and see what I can come up with, but it's not an easy solution. And I think the reason being is these cars are designed for racing, so they don't include an easy way to have a lighting rig. You could attach a separate lighting rig to the batteries, but then you won't be able to control the lights. So I think the only choice is going to be this gyro socket here, which will mean trying to rig up a completely different light set. Now I have got one of those lighting sets. So this is a GT Power Mini Z RC car light system. This is not a standard Mini Z lighting system, but it has the same size bulbs. It has the ability to, by pressing this button, change from flashing, alternate flashing, constant. So that's pretty neat. I've rigged one of these up in the past. I can't remember what you call these things now, but it's like a little switch mechanism that you can plug into your receiver so that you can use the channel to turn the power on and off to the light system. So this was part of the system I was using. It's a lot of stuff so you can control your lights from the transmitter. I think effectively what you'd be doing is plugging this end with the yellow being the white signal, making a plug that will fit here. So I'd have to get one of these plugs, and then that would give the ability to control where you would normally control the gyro to control the lights. I haven't done this yet, it's just theoretical. So when I find a bit of time, I'll put the rig together, plug it into the Mini Z Evo and see if I can control the lights on my Nb4. Now I won't be running it like this because the gyro is more important to me, and I like to be able to control the gyro settings from the transmitter. So I'll do it as a bit of fun, but it's I don't think it's going to be ideal, and you will get a lot of extra weight with wires and mess, which one of the reasons I like my Mini Z, it's because it's so neat. Okay, that's all guys, just a quick video today. See you next time. I will be bringing out more content and also more race footage.